What is up? All right, we're gonna give people some time to log on. Um, and in the meantime, I will just start briefly with my introduction. For those of you that are new to Sips with Chef, it is a show that I started a couple of months ago. I forget exactly what month we launched it, but just initially started as something that um, was entertainment, right? Something that was fun. We had a lot of laughs. And since then, I've just been called to do other things, right? To use this platform as um, an opportunity to have discussions that really matter, have discussions that really make a difference. And what it's become is honestly very interesting. It's something that I now look forward to, even though I will be honest with you guys today, I'm really not at 100%. My allergies are kicking my butt. It's just that time of year. And so I really fought with whether or not I was going to go live tonight and have this discussion and lead this conversation. And then I decided that I want to be my word, right? I want to keep my word. I want to be known as someone that keeps their word. And that if I am hosting something that is only once a month, that I show up for that day that I scheduled. And so I want you guys to know that I'm really fighting it to be here today and to lead this conversation. I don't expect it to be a conversation that's going to be too long. I don't expect the conversation to be one that makes anyone, including myself, feel uncomfortable. Again, I just hope that it makes a difference for someone. And even if that one person is me, because I get to share my story and share some parts of myself that can be very personal, very intimate, very private, at least I've gotten that accomplishment out of it. And so, again, if it's your first time tuning in, thank you, welcome, congratulations, welcome to Sips with Chef. We call it Sips with Chef because you're invited to have something that you'll be able to enjoy while we spend this time together. And today, because of how I'm feeling, I made myself a nice hot tea with some Nightworks and some aloe. So it's very sweet, it's very delicious, and it's hot, so it'll help my throat. So again, excuse me for the energy or lack thereof today. It's just, again, that I'm not feeling at 100%. So today, the conversation is about hoarding, maybe like the beginning signs of hoarding. I am not a professional, so I'm not giving you like research and hours. No, I Googled, right? YouTubed. And I'm speaking more from a personal experience and personal um, standpoint. And again, just sharing my story to see if it can make a difference for anyone, including myself. So just to give you guys a little bit of a background of relatedness, I am not reading the comments in the chat, just so you guys know. And the reason for that is I want to make sure that I stay focused. I don't want to get emotional or anything like that. When I feel that I'm ready, I'll go ahead and turn the chats on so that I can view them. But just know if you are posting anything, you're not being ignored. So again, to give you a little bit of background of relatedness, I was born here in Philadelphia, but we moved to Puerto Rico when I was just a couple of months old. And in Puerto Rico, we live with my grandma, my aunt, my cousin, my brother, my mom. And she was the main source of income, my grandma at the time. My mom was going to school, working, but obviously really not making a lot of money. So growing up, I call it humble beginnings. Growing up, we didn't have a lot of expensive things. We didn't go to a lot of like fine places. We had the bare minimum, which was perfect, right? We grew up. Obviously, always had something to eat. We had Christmases. I don't remember ever having a Christmas where we didn't have anything. So when you think of what the mindset has developed into. It's never been because I've lacked. Okay. So I just want you guys to get that clear and make that super clear. So we lived in Puerto Rico until my grandma passed away. And then we had to move to Philadelphia because we had more family here. Obviously, there was more help, more assistance here, and just we came. So we ended up moving over when I was about 8.5, 9. So Spanish was my first language, um, and even here when we came here, my mom got a job right away. We lived in Philadelphia, in North Philadelphia, and we lived everywhere in North Philadelphia. We moved around a lot of times, um, and then I decided. I started working at the age of 16. I decided that I was going to do well, that I was going to be something, that I was going to do things in life and be able to travel and buy things that I wanted and things like that. So that's just to give you guys a little bit of background. Um, Raised by a single mom, saw her hardworking, saw her doing whatever she needed to do to make ends meet. So there was never a lack, right? On my end, there was never a lack. My mom did the best she could, and she made a lot of sacrifices to put me through Catholic school and all that stuff. So that's that. And I wanted to just make that clear. Then, I go to high school, obviously, graduate high school, um, got pregnant when I was 18, had her when I was 19, and got my first great paying job. And I'm good, right? So I'm living with my mom, and I decide, that I was going to get my own place, and I get my own place, and my first place is in Northeast Philadelphia. It's a duplex. It's super sexy. Everything is organized, new furniture, and decor, just the whole nine, and everything is just dope. And then we bought a home, right? I was with my partner at the time. Ended up leaving there, bought a home, bought this home actually. And when I came here, I had some challenges, I had some struggles, and I did at one point fight to keep my home. So as I'm living in the house, I am like, obviously, over the years, just buying things, collecting things. Had a really good income between the two of us. And so, shopping was kind of an issue. Spent a lot of money on clothes, spent a lot of money on shoes, did the whole traveling, did the whole nine. So now we're traveling, and then we're bringing back memorabilia and stuffed animals and just different things that I started to not want to get rid of or not wanting to part ways with because they had sentimental value. So now I have some of the things that I've collected from my childhood. And then now, obviously from my adulthood, I have these things that I'm now starting to collect. And I'm talking about like movie ticket stuff. I'm talking about, again, just like, from the first time we went to Disney, like the shirts that you get, the ears and just everything that you could think of that had any type of sentimental value because, again, I grew up in humble beginnings. So I was able to do as a young adult a lot of the things that I didn't do as a child. So, um, started self-employment, fast forward, start self-employment. I am now somebody working very long hours, so I'm sort of using my home as just a place to rest, right? So I have a bed obviously, and as long as that's clear for the most part, right, like 90% of it, I'm good. Just papers. Now I don't have time to really do all of the domestic stuff when it needs to get done. And so now I'm like, oh man, I have an event this weekend. All right, I got to go pick up something, even though there may be something already there in the closet. No, it's just easier, right? So picking up stuff now, maybe some of the things I don't pick up don't fit. So then now these things are like in the bag, or, you know, in a corner, tucked in a corner. And it's like this thing I never wore. And I forgot to take back because now I'm so pressed for time right now. Like time is so valuable, or time, as I would now know it and understand it, is like an excuse. It's something that I lack. So I don't have time to do this or do that or organize this or organize that. So over the years, I saw myself like collecting a lot of stuff, having a lot of stuff. You know, there's a box, and then this box has papers, and then you know, now, you know, more mail's coming in. I don't get through that mail. I'm putting it in a corner, and then now I have an event, so I'm like putting those papers in a box and putting that box in a corner. So again, things just started to pile up and pile up and pile up, and before you knew it, you know, I looked up, you know, almost 15 years in this house, and I look up and I'm like, I have 15 years of things, you know, some new, some used, some never even looked at, some never even opened, like mail and things like that, that I've just accumulated over the years. And then I want the help, or I think that I want the help. And so then now I start to reach out and I start to try to get some of my friends to come over and help. But then the friends that are coming over, if they're saying anything like, you don't need this, you know, why are you holding on to this? You haven't even opened it. You haven't even used it. Just toss it, or something like that. Or this has a little stain or something like that. Why are you getting, you know, and I'm like, oh, no, you know, then I feel like attacked, and I'm kind of like, nope, this person's not it. They're gonna, you know, and so I tried that a couple of times. And so because of that, um, I didn't open up. And so again, time is passing, days are passing, things are still being collected. And then I remember a conversation that like really made a difference. I don't know that she knows that this made a difference for me, but I have a friend, I will not say the name, you know, in case I don't want her to feel attacked or anything like that. I want you to know that this made a difference. But she says to me, I don't think I've ever seen you no, she's like, I've never been upstairs. I said, really? She said, I've never been to the upstairs of your home. Now, she had been to my house plenty of times, but then I got like, she's never been upstairs to my house. And then I got just like that, when she made that comment, when she said that, I was like, of course you've never been upstairs. There's too much for you. You know, I don't want to expose. So I think that was the first sign I got. That was the first time that I felt some sort of like shame for it, right? Kind of like, damn, you know, I definitely want to be the type of person that has friends over and is comfortable with letting her friends come upstairs. You know, sometimes you're at your friend's house or family member's house and things like that. And then so now, since she said that, now it's like something that's like there, that's so like obvious, that's so like apparent. Now I'm like paying attention to my behavior when people are around, or when people are saying that, when people are coming over, how I'm like, oh my God, like, oh, you know, and the stress and like, da, 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 da. And so now I start to notice that there's some shame attached to the conditions in which my house was, which again weren't bad, but there were just a lot of things, a lot of bags, a lot of papers, one whole entire room. In fact, the room that I'm in now, one room where packed with papers, just papers and papers and papers and boxes of papers and stuff, and catalogs and magazines, and just things that I don't use, that I didn't use. And so now I'm aware, now I'm present, now I'm like really, really um aware of the and present to the impact that it's having on me. And so I I'm doing personal development in the morning, and I start to hear these things sort of like, you know, what needs to change, what needs to transform, what is like right there for you, da, 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 da. And I'm like, every time there was this thing that kept coming up for me, and for me it's like, you've got to get organized, you've got to get your home organized. So then I remembered when my grandfather passed away, and I went to Puerto Rico to clean out his home. No, he was sick at the time. I remember there being nothing but like things and clothes, and then when I had that moment and I got present to that, I said, "Oh my God, these are the beginning signs of hoarding." Because a lot of the stuff is stuff I don't want to get rid of because oh, they don't fit, but they're going to fit one day. Or no, this is a memory. This is the first time I went there, or a shirt. Um, and so I realized I really had to go to work on it. And I've been doing that, but it's been a very, very long process. So I did share something a couple of weeks ago. My girlfriend Kelly has done an amazing job at helping me get everything in order. Um, Hold on one second, guys. Sorry. She's been doing an amazing job at helping me get things in order. And because of that, I decided to come on the show and talk a little bit about it because it's been a process. It's been honestly months. Before that, I had a couple of other friends over just to help me like sort through boxes and mail and stuff like that so that I can get the office set up. So this office that I'm sitting in right now, this was my first goal, and this goal I set in December. I wanted it done before the end of 2020, and I was able to get it accomplished. And I remember sitting in this room just crying because I couldn't believe that I had let it get to what it was. Okay. And I want to just be completely honest with you guys. But it's because I started to notice that, it was something that I needed to transform. So I'm sharing that to say I want to just get you guys present to what's possible, like what could be something that you may be ignoring, that you may not think is robbing you of your peace of mind, which it definitely was for me. So I'm going to pull up what, one of the definitions of hoarding is that I saw, and is people with hoarding disorder excessively save items that others may view as worthless. So again, I'm telling you about the friends and the people that I'm having over that are like, you don't need this, get rid of this is trash, why are you saving this, right? And I'm like offended. I'm like, I can't trust this person. They're trying to get me to trash something that I think it's valuable. So it automatically puts up the guard. They have persistent difficulty getting rid of or parting with possessions. No, I'm going to sell this. No, I'm going to be able to use this one day. No, I've only wore these shoes once and they killed my feet, but they cost me so much that I'm not getting rid of it. I'll use them again. Things like that, leading to clutter that disrupts, like it disrupts your vitality. It disrupts your peace of mind. It just disrupts. So that's one of the things that I was able to pull up. And then here's the second one. It says hoarding is not the same as collecting. Okay, because there's a difference, right? A lot of times, a lot of the things I'm thinking, I'm just collecting these things. I'm just saving these things because, again, there may be some use for it in the future. Collectors look for specific items such as model cars or stamps and may organize or display them. And I think that it's interesting that the word organize was used in that definition, or is that in that specific sentence, is because a collector, the difference is that things are organized, like things have their place. They're not in the way. They're not getting in the, they're not disruptive in any way, or display them. People with hoarding disorder often save random items. And I'm talking about random. I'm talking about like I could go on and on and on about some of the things that I've saved that, now I look at, because again, we're still in the process of like getting everything done and getting everything organized, that now I look at it and I'm like, what? And Kelly will be like, do you really need this? And I'm like, no, like why am I even saving this? Why did I save this? So it's something that I could talk about freely now, but hoarding disorder occurs in an estimated 2 to 6% of the population and often leads to substantial distress and problems functioning. Some research show hoarding disorder is more common in males, which I think that is very, really, really interesting. Because again, as I shared, my grandpa, wow, I'm talking about, I obviously don't want to say anything that could upset any of my family members. It's just what's so, and the what's so is that he had a lot of trash in his house. He had a lot of things that he did not need, even in the refrigerator. I mean, if I really spoke to you guys about the conditions of that refrigerator and the things that crawled out of that refrigerator, it was sad, right? It's really, really sad. And so I share that with you guys because it's something that it's a behavior that it's a way of being that had I not gotten present to it, had I not really gotten present to the impact that it was having on me, to the impact that it was having me on my life, to the impact that it was having on my peace of mind and my vitality, it probably wouldn't have been transformed has she not said that, right? And a lot of times we don't think that the things that we say make a difference. And just like I shared a couple of shows ago, just like my friend Kathy invited me to tell myself, or to, to hear myself say out loud, I am an addict, me saying to myself, I am a hoarder, or I'm starting to hoard, or I have I'm displaying the behaviors of a hoarder, right? Like if we are not present to it, or if we don't consider it, or we automatically dismiss it, it's something that can become an issue, right? Like I could have become an alcoholic. I could have become a hoarder, right? It's not my reality anymore, right? It's something that I've been able to transform. Thank God, right? To him all praise and all glory. Um, but it could have been that, it could have been that severe in a sense. And so it's being transformed. It's something that we're going to work on. Again, it's just not, I just want to make very clear, it's not something that, it's not, there's a difference between being dirty and being and hoarding, like keeping things that you don't need, saving things that you don't need, having one specific room filled with papers and boxes of stuff that you haven't used in 14, 15 years is not okay. It's not normal behavior, right? If I can say that. I mean, I know that normal behavior is perception, right? We probably have different definitions of what that looks like, but it's not typical. Okay, I think that that's the safest word that I can use. And so I am happy to say, and I am happy to announce that I have made huge, 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 huge 360. I have gotten rid of stuff over the past several weeks. I mean, it's been just exciting to just see myself walk into a room that doesn't have all the clothes everywhere, to see myself sitting in an office, to go downstairs to the basement and not have everything everywhere in my way, having to climb over, and which was my reality. It was crazy. And so particularly one of the reasons why I'll be working from home for the next several months is so that I can get my house to what I want it to be, and what I want it to look like, and as beautiful as it is, because it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful corner single property. It is huge, and so the potential and the possibility and what it will be in a couple of months is just super exciting. And I wanted to share that with you guys, right? Like, no shame, no fear, no shame, no compromise. Like, it's transforming, it's being transformed. And I want to thank I'm not going to get emotional. I want to thank every single person that has stepped foot inside of this house with a real commitment to helping me achieve that goal. It is so exciting. I am so forever grateful. And that's how I know I am surrounded by just amazing people. The Kitties of the world, the the Melissas of the world, the other Melissas of the world, the Tawandas of the world, the Kelly now of the world. Like you guys, man, I can't tell you like the peace of mind that you guys have brought me. It's just better. It's just ooh. And so today, most of the day was spent dealing with the stuff that came from the nutrition club. So yesterday it was like nothing but moving, nothing but unpacking, and where did all of this stuff come? All of that stuff had to come here to my home. Let me take this off. All of the stuff had to come here, had to come to my home. So my anxiety level was like up here. And again, Kelly comes in here because I see her every week. Guys, I cannot tell you enough how you need this woman in your life. She's just phenomenal. She will come in and just completely transform your space in an hour. I promise you that. Um, but I woke up to like just the living room packed and the front room packed, like the front porch I have an enclosed porch just packed and just stuff stacked and just all of the stuff that had to come from the nutrition club. So right now behind me I have all of the papers and all of the things that came from Red Carpet Nutrition that now I have to sit through. Now I get to sit on the floor and just sort through and get rid of the things that I don't need, because I am committed to being the type of person that is able to have anybody at her house at any time and be able to say, come upstairs, I'm not finished yet, I'm not dressed yet, and do that without shame, do that without feeling like I can't let you come upstairs and I can't let you see like how I'm living because I'm ashamed of what you'll see and how you may judge me. And so I don't know who needs to hear this, right? I don't know who needs to know that, uh, you know, there are signs, there are ways of being, there are things that you're saving that you know you don't need, there are things that you have that you know you won't use, there are things that you know you need to give away. And lastly, before I open it up and I go and check out the comments and just interact with you guys a little bit more, um, as I see it, God is like, don't there's no room for you to receive the stuff that I'm trying to give you, the stuff that I'm trying to send to you, because you refuse to part with things that no longer serve you. Right? So I am making room for the new. I am like making space, like getting everything nice and ready for all of the abundance, all of the blessings and everything that God is throwing my way. But that's because of my willingness to get rid of the past and the things that, quite frankly, just don't need to be in my space. So I don't know if I made any sense, right? Again, I wanted to start off with the background of relatedness because I wanted to be clear that I did not lack for anything, that my behavior wasn't because oh my God, I'm going to save this because I never know, even though to an extent there's some of that mindset there. But it was just crazy. It was excessive. It was just stuff I didn't need. And so I'm hoping that that made a difference for someone, that my vulnerability is able to transform somebody's life with this conversation. And guess what? Even if it's one person, I did my job. I'm just being obedient, sharing my story with hopes that it makes a difference for someone. So let's go. Let's see who has what to say. Do you guys have any questions, any comments, any concerns? I know that I see a lot of tags. Please make sure that you share this video. Please, please, please share this video so that people know that we are on, so that people know that we're here and we're having conversations that make a difference. Just make sure that you transform this, that you share this with someone. So let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I feel you. I am giving away a lot of my things. I love it. Angelica, let's go. That way God can make room for more. Thank you, April. Wait till you see my house now. A lot going on, Lauren. We getting rid of all of it because you know what? If I give it up, right? Like the more the more I share myself like in this way, the freer I feel, the better I feel, the doper in my opinion that I become. Like people've gotta know like this person that you see on social media who seems to have like this perfect life is really dealing with some shit. I can say shit, right? I can say that. Dealing with some stuff that just was not. Yes, let's go. We're gonna have some dinner. Oh, you qualified. Let's go. I may have y'all over at my house. All right. So listen, again, I said that I was gonna make this a really short conversation. Um, I just wanted to share with you guys today. I hope that it made sense. I hope that let's see what Tanika has to say. It's not just stuff, but people too. I found myself staying in a relationship to not feel lonely, a relationship that wasn't feeding me mentally or emotionally or even physically. It was beginning to drain me. And that's how it feels. That's how it feels, Tanika. Like, it does. There were nights, guys, if I can be super, super, super open and super, super, super transparent, there were nights where my bed was filled with clothes. There was clothes everywhere, just like clothes. When I share these before and after pictures with you guys are gonna be like, oh my God, because I am gonna share before and after pictures with you. Now, some pictures she has forgotten to take, so I'm like, you can't forget to take pictures. But there were some nights where I had this much bed, right? Like I have this queen size bed and I have this much bed because there's all this like on it. And I was okay with living like that. Now, guys, I get to come home. I get to get in like my bed. Everything is clear. I see my floor. There's a floor because of all this stuff that's just out the way. All these things that are just like organized now and in its place because everything, we've been able to find a place for everything. And it's just so dope and so amazing. So Madeline says, holding on to old things can carry certain energy. Getting rid of the old things can make you free. Absolutely. And then Lauren's so happy for you, coach. Your smile tells it all. Enjoy the process. Yes. It's kind of like addicting now. Like, I can't wait. I can't wait for this to be done. So, again, the fact that we had to bring all that stuff over from RCN, I was like, so today. So, that's why I've been kind of like really MIA. I've just been like really, really going to work on all these things. And I just thank you for you guys. Thank you guys for your continued support. You don't have to be here. You don't have to be involved in this conversation, but you are, and that makes the world of difference for me. And again, I just hope that this conversation makes sense for someone. I feel that like I'm 41 years young, right? There's just so much more life for me to live. There's so much more for me to do. There's just so much more difference for me to make that I want to make sure that the next couple of years are the best years, and in order for me to make that happen, I need to confront the things that just don't work, right? That they just don't work. You lay in a bed with piles of clothes, it doesn't work. You not being able to invite your friends upstairs or even to your home period because you're ashamed just doesn't work, right? You having dishes piled up and just, oh, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. It did not work for me. It doesn't work. It's not at 100% yet, but it is being transformed. And now that I'm coming public with it, right? Now that I'm sharing myself in this way with you guys, it's like there's no other choice but for me to transform it so that I could have you guys over my house and do that with peace of mind and joy. So I love you guys. I thank you guys for spending some time with me today. I am now looking at how often I want to start having these shows. We definitely want to start having people, just more people come on with us and share with us. I want to always, as always, give a shout out to my girlfriend Christina for introducing me to this option here for me to be able to have conversations with you guys, for inspiring me. Just such an amazing, dope Latina, and we need more women like that in the world. because you make a difference, we make a difference, and together there's just no lid, there's no cap on what we're able to do. So I love you guys. Sophie, I'm super proud of you for the strides that you're making. I know that you're also looking to transform some things about you. Lauren, Iris, Madeline, Tanika, every single one of you that is intentional. I know intentional is not a word, chill. All of you amazing, amazing women, this community, all of you that are intentionally working on transforming those things about you that just don't work anymore. And I love you. It's just such an honor to be on this journey with you guys. I can't wait to see some of you guys after Landmark because I know you guys are registered. Some of you guys are registered. And I promise you, it's just going to get better. It's just going to be a dope year, even doper year than what 2020 was and 2019 was. And thanks so much for watching. Have a good night. Peace out.